Did you know that changing your environment is one of the best ways to improve your life? Let's try this out.
Okay, I believe this is a way better spot for making this video, even though I'm being attacked by bugs all the time. What defines who you are better than your environment? If you live in a dirty, messy room, it's because of your actions. If you like playing video games, of course you're gonna have gaming PC or a console at your desk. Every single thing that represents who you are will be displayed in your environment. Let me tell you a personal story about this. About a little bit more than a month ago, I actually moved out of my parents' house and got my own apartment with my girlfriend. And I figured moving out of my old habits, my old bad habits actually, was the perfect opportunity for me to actually change not only where I am, but who I am at the same time. There's something that us as humans actually love more than anything, and it's coherence. Coherence to our past actions or our current situation. We never want to be seen as someone that is always changing opinions and always changing sides. We like to pretty much identify as something and stay coherent to this one thing. And our environment is exactly this. It's the perfect representation of our choices and past actions. But as the great person that I am, I had the good idea of actually making a few different decisions while moving out of my parents' house to implement new good habits. And that actually worked out perfectly, because as soon as I took the new apartment and I started moving in, I only brought things that brought value to me or that I think would bring something to my life in the direction that I wanted to take. For example, I never bought junk food ever again. There's a really important term that is temptation. If you're tempted by something, it means it's around you somewhere, you see it, it tempts you to actually do it. For example, junk food. If you don't have any junk food available, you are way less likely to be tempted by it. Same thing with video games. If you don't have access to them, if you delete all social media and all video games from your phone and your PC, then you're way less likely to actually go back and play those things. Let me give you an example of a study that was done by some scientists in a neighborhood. They went around door by door asking people if they were willing to help people with cancer by doing a small donation. They didn't actually have to do the donation, but just accept to maybe someday do it. And once this was done, they waited 2 weeks with nothing. And after 2 weeks, somebody went and knocked on their door. Now, of course, most people would say, yes, as long as they don't have to donate any money, sure, why not? I would help these people. But when they came back 2 weeks later, and most people had agreed to help them even though they didn't have to give any money, this time they asked for real donations. And about 80% of the people that accepted in just the theory of giving the donation actually gave it to them. This is because people had 2 weeks to relate to the new person they became by accepting to help people with cancer. So when they came back, they were like, well, I am this person. I said I would accept, so I'm gonna accept. 80% is a huge number. So now, where do I want to go with this video? I just wanted to let you know that changing your environment doesn't mean that you have to change where you live completely. By just making small tweaks in your everyday life, it's a great way for you to actually direct your life in the direction you want to take. For example, when you're going and doing the grocery, you just don't buy any junk food, so then you don't have the temptation of actually eating it. Same thing with video games. You don't download them, or you actually delete them from your computer so you don't have the temptation of doing so. You can do this with every single aspect of your life, which makes it so easy to actually implement good habits and stop doing the bad ones. I don't know if you've ever heard of the concept of dopamine detox. It's pretty much almost the same thing, but over the long term and with small dosage. You're still enjoying the things you do because you don't have access to anything other. So this will be your homework for today. Try and remove all the things that you might think are negative to your life, and try adding things that are valuable or actually put your life going into the right path. Don't give yourself any choices, because if you have the choice, this is when you actually relapse and start doing the bad things again. Only implement good habits by changing your environment around you. The things you see are the things that will get right into your brain. So if you see good food, you're gonna eat good food. If you see junk food, you're gonna eat junk food. Don't make it available. Only make valuable things visible and accessible in your environment. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say for today. But if you still struggle to make the right choices, I would suggest going in the description down below. There is a quiz you can take that will give you an anxiety score. This is a good representation of your entire mental health visualized in a score that is going to give you resources to actually help you get out of those issues yourself. Thank you for listening to me. Take care.